2018 was a great year for TV, and these were its best moments.
I think about you all the time. I think about what you're wearing and what you're doing and who you're doing it with.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the best TV moments of 2018.
2018 has been an absolute roller coaster of a year.
Are you out of your mind?
Click the link below to find our best and worst of 2018 videos for a look back at all the awesome and crazy things that happened.
For this list, we'll be ranking the funniest, saddest, most dramatic, and most shocking scenes of the year from 2018 scripted TV shows. Spoilers abound, so be warned. Number 10. Cunanan kills Versace. The assassination of Gianni Versace, American crime story. On July 15, 1997, prominent fashion designer Gianni Versace was murdered outside his Miami Beach mansion by Andrew Cunanan. This was one of the most shocking news stories of the 90s, and has resonated throughout subsequent decades. We finally saw the event dramatized in 2018's American Crime Story, and it was every bit as disturbing as we imagined it would be. The scene begins with flourishing camera sweeps and picturesque images of Miami Beach, before the music swells and Andrew approaches Gianni with a gun. It's a beautifully filmed, scored, and edited scene capped by a horrifying piece of real-life violence that instantly snaps us out of the daydream.
No.
Number 9. Don't Tell Mama. Sharp Objects. Sharp Objects was another haunting story from Gone Girl's author Gillian Flynn, and its dramatic twists and turns were equally as shocking. But no moment was as instantly memorable and jaw-dropping as the very last scene, when Emma enters the room and pleads Camille not to tell their mother. The utter look of devastation on Camille's face serves as a perfect summation of the entire ending.
Don't tell Mama.
She's not only shocked, but devastatingly heartbroken, and the rapid cut to black only heightens our feelings of disbelief, but in a good way, not a Sopranos way. A twist, shock, instant cut to black, boom. Now that's how you end a show. Number 8. Jake and Amy's Wedding. Brooklyn Nine-Nine. It's been 5 years in the making, but Jake and Amy's wedding has finally arrived.
It's wedding time!
And it's every bit as beautiful and wacky as we'd hoped. The scene is peppered with the typical Brooklyn Nine-Nine goofiness, like Boyle telling Amy to make little Jakes, and a robot ring bearer. But it's also played surprisingly straight, complete with beautiful music and vows from the two characters.
I've known you both for the last 5 years, and it has been a true pleasure to watch your distracting childish rivalry evolve into a distracting childish courtship, and now into what I'm sure will be a distracting childish marriage.
It's a perfect blend of Brooklyn Nine-Nine's humor and heart, and it would have served as a fitting conclusion should the show have remained canceled.
I love you, and I'm worried about dancing in front of our friends. The end.
Luckily, of course, thanks to its revival, we have even more Brooklyn Nine-Nine goodness to look forward to.
You're married. You may kiss the bride.
Number 7. June and Hannah. The Handmaid's Tale. And so we jump from a show full of warmth and happiness to a show full of, well, the complete opposite of those things. Throughout the first 20 episodes of the show, June has only enjoyed memories of her daughter Hannah as she's forced to live as a handmaid.
Go, run! I'll be right behind.
However, in the show's 20th episode, June is finally reunited with her daughter, and it is absolutely soul-crushing.
I'm sorry, honey. I didn't mean to scare you. I just missed you so much.
The scene is shot like a documentary full of close-ups and shaky cam, and Elizabeth Moss, who was nominated for a Primetime Emmy Award for her performance in this episode, proves once again why she's the best in the biz.
Honey?
Yes, sweetie?
Am I ever gonna see you again?
You know what? I'm gonna try.
Number 6. Teddy and Darius talk. Atlanta.
I'm Theodore Perkins. Please. Call me Teddy.
Atlanta is so full of outrageous wackiness and surreal moments that it's hard for any one scene to stand out. But that all changed with Teddy Perkins.
It's not easy. But who knows? Maybe one day we'll get a great album out of it. A masterpiece.
The Teddy Perkins episode is a masterpiece of television, and it was one of the most talked about episodes of 2018. It ends in truly spectacular fashion, as the otherwise reserved and idiosyncratic Darius opens up to the reclusive, troubled, and unbelievably creepy Teddy.
I can imagine.
No, you can't!
It's equal parts scary and sad, and then Benny shows up and turns everything into a tragic nightmare.
You're alive.
The wide range of emotions, incredible acting, and the scene's unflinching nature make it one of the best scenes of the year. Number 5. Black Hood is revealed. Riverdale. When we heard that Archie was being rebooted into a gloomy murder mystery, we all kind of laughed in disbelief.
Can't get any worse, how could it?
My dad could be the Black Hood.
But it's scenes like this that make us feel silly for laughing, because damn did they ever nail the drama. Black Hood was one of the main villains of Season 2, the culprit behind numerous shootings, and the murder of Geraldine Grundy. In the penultimate episode of Season 2, it was finally revealed that Black Hood was none other than Betty's father, Hal.
What are you telling us? Hal, that
I have a darkness, Alice. The same darkness my father had, the same darkness his father had. And now it lives in Betty.
Sure, it was a little predictable, but it's nice to finally know for sure. And it throws his character into a whole new, terrifying light.
You're the Black Hood.
That's right.
Number 4. The Final Montage. Adventure Time.
Music is powerful, man. It speaks to a primal pit in our brains.
Saying goodbye to Adventure Time is like saying goodbye to a great friend. It's been with us for years, it's entertained us and made us happy, and it saddened us when it needed to leave.
Come along with me, and the butterflies and bees. We can wander through the forest and do so as we please.
Which is why the final montage was so affecting, seeming to acknowledge the fact that sometimes music can convey mood better than words. The finale launches into a cute musical montage using the end credits theme song that wraps up everyone's journey.
All of my collections, I'll share them all with you.
It's a touching goodbye to the show and the characters we've grown attached to over the better part of a decade. And we couldn't think of a better finale for such a brilliant program.
And the butterflies and bees, we can wander through the forest and do so as we please.
Number 3. All This Time, The Americans.
Lie down on the ground. All of you.
The Americans is still the greatest show that no one watches. Maybe now that it's over, it will generate the audience it's always deserved. Like a brilliant artist only discovered after his demise.
It's over. It's all over.
The show built an incredible amount of tension over the years before unleashing this climax in its final episode. When Stan confronts Philip and Elizabeth in the parking garage and finally learns their secret, it's a painful, cataclysmic shock for everyone involved. The scene's impact is in no small part thanks to Matthew Rhys's Emmy-winning performance as Philip.
We had a job to do.
The Americans has always been about family and friendship, and here we watch them all falling apart. Number 2. Winston's ultimate prank, New Girl. Winston's reputation for awful pranks set audience expectation high for the series finale. Fortunately, New Girl delivered.
We got an eviction notice. They're kicking us out in 24 hours. Some evil company called Ingram Petersky Management Group bought the building.
In the final episode, newly married Nick and Jess discover that they're being evicted. After packing and loading the moving truck, Winston finally reveals that the eviction was just an elaborate prank. Because, well, Winston doesn't know how to prank.
Ingram
Petersky. If you rearrange those letters, what does it spell?
My greatest prank.
My greatest prank!
Luckily for him, Nick and Jess don't kill him, but decide to finish their move. It's hilarious, but it also leads to a touching send-off for the characters and the apartment they've inhabited for nearly 150 episodes. Think of it as a new beginning.
We didn't have to move!
Hell no! You didn't have to move!
When did you have time to do all this? You have a baby!
Well, I got 2 babies. Danville and this prank.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
Come on.
Wow, you are very good at the gun!
I know.
No, wait, we're coming together. Come on.
I'm sorry.
Fine.
Number 1. Jack's death. This Is Us. Some people may criticize This Is Us for being little more than sorrow porn, but when the sadness is this unbelievably rendered, we can forgive it. We've all been dreading Jack's death, and it finally came on Super Bowl Sunday. Literally, that's what the episode's called. Mandy Moore is spectacular in this scene, fluidly transitioning from complete disbelief and annoyance to shock and finally grief.
Mrs. Pearson, your husband has died.
Mom, I'm sorry. We were just here for a burn.
Yes.
On his arm.
No.
Few shows and movies have captured the pain and confusion of death so vividly, and it made for supremely uncomfortable yet tantalizing television. Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from MsMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.